It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Mm-hmm. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Mm-hmm. Talk that talk.
Alsobrooks.
Sorry. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Kennedy, I was struck by your comments during our meeting last week.
What?
I was struck by your comments in our meeting last week where you made it abundantly clear to me that you intended to clean house of the professional scientist at the National Institutes of Health, which you know is headquartered in the state of Maryland and employs thousands of hardworking Marylanders. I, for the record, believe in scientists, and I believe in doctors, and I trust them over politicians without medical degrees. You talked about bad science and bad scientists, and in fact, you specifically said to me in response to my question that you intend to replace the bad scientist with the good scientist. And so I want to ask you, in your opinion, what makes a scientist or a doctor qualified to serve at the National Institutes of Health?
A scientist who's devoted to empirical methodology, to evidence-based science, scientists who understand the importance of replication, the importance of publishing raw data and being open and transparent about it, the importance of publishing peer review. We have, NIH has overseen over the past several years the precipitous decline in American health. There's 91,000 people at HHS, and are you suggesting that some of them should not be held responsible for that decline? They were in charge of protecting our health.
Let me just insert here.
Let me just finish.
But let me just say this, because I only have 3 minutes left. I don't set the rules here, but I ask the questions. And the question is really whether you intend, as you said, to substitute essentially your judgment for the judgment of these professional scientists and doctors.
I'm not going to substitute my judgment for science. Of course, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, listen, the New York Times just did an article last week talking about the fraud, the 20-year fraud, 800 fraudulent studies produced by NIH on amyloid plaques, and not allowing any other hypothesis about the cause of Alzheimer's to be explored.
Well, how will you decide, Mr. Kennedy, which scientists are bad scientists? Are they the ones who disagree with you?
The ones who are corrupt, the ones who have been doing science like the amyloid plaque studies that were fraudulent.
Well, these doctors, let me ask you a question. Do you have a medical degree?
Do I know?
Okay, let me go to the next question. The Heritage Fund has compiled a watch list of federal employees to go after federal staff. Is there a watch list for federal staff at HHS?
Not that I know of.
Have you or has anyone in the administration developed a list of career scientists or federal staff that you would target for termination?
Not that I know of.
And let me just ask you another question. Now, your failed presidential campaign has been raising money to try and cover your debts. And you were questioned about this yesterday and failed to answer a question that Senator Warren asked you. And so I want to ask you again regarding these emails that you have sent to raise money. How much has your presidential campaign made fundraising off of this administration's complete disregard for the workforce at HHS?
Excuse me? I didn't hear the question. The last part.
How much money has your presidential campaign made off of fundraising, off of this administration's complete disregard for the workforce at HHS?
Zero.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record 2 emails from this week and the week before regarding fundraising that you are currently doing through your presidential campaign.
Without objection.
And finally, I want to ask you, I have you said you were on a show on February 26, 2021, an interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits, where you said the following, and I quote, "We should not be giving Black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours." Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland, that show that to particular antigens that blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds left. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I have received?
I mean, the pollen article suggests that blacks need fewer antigens than...
This is so dangerous.
So you get the same measles vaccine.
Mr. Kennedy, with all due respect, that is so dangerous. Your voice would be a voice that parents would listen to. That is so dangerous. I will be voting against your nomination because your views are dangerous to our state and to our country.
I mean, do you think science is dangerous, Senator? This is published, peer-reviewed studies.
I yield.
It's time. I'm in the hospital getting ready for my transplant.
When PhD student Jasmine Evans finally got the call that she would receive a kidney transplant in July, she was overjoyed.
I'm getting a whole kidney, so.
Evans was first diagnosed with chronic kidney disease when she was just 17 years old and was put on the transplant list in 2019. She thought she was still years away from being matched with a donor until a letter from her hospital came in the mail last year explaining she should have been added to the transplant list in 2015, 4 years earlier, and that a racially biased test was to blame.
When you got that letter, what went through your mind?
At first, I was outraged, and just the fact that no one really knew that this was something that was going on, it was really jarring and shocking.
Evans is one of thousands of black patients who have been prioritized for transplants as a result of a national mandate by the Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network, or OPTN. The new rule, which was instituted in 2022, instructs hospitals to stop using a test that overestimated how well black people's kidneys were functioning.
In the 1990s, there was a big study when the black participants in this research study's creatinines and kidney function were looked at. For some reason, they had slightly higher amounts of kidney function for the same level blood test. And instead of investigating sort of why that might be, the conclusion was that it was based on race.
That flawed test, meaning thousands of patients were put on the transplant list years later than they should have been, a potentially deadly wait.
For some people, those extra years waiting actually contribute to their either being too sick to get a transplant or their premature death.
Patients like Evans who were misevaluated have been bumped up on the list, with the average patient getting transplants 1 to 2 years sooner than expected. But for Evans, who calls herself a reluctant kidney advocate, the fight is not over.
What do you believe this represents for thousands of black patients like you?
I think it represents hope. It represents reconciling in a lot of ways. But I also see that the fight is not over yet. There are thousands of Black Americans that are still waiting for organ donations across the board.
According to Dr. Pavlakis, change takes time. Some labs are still occasionally using the old race-based formula, so doctors need to keep an eye out for their new patients and make sure they're getting the care they deserve, Tom.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
All right, today is Friday. It is January 31st. The year is 2025, 1 month down. This has been, and January kind of flew by, sort of. Early in the hospital has been exhausting for me because I travel back and forth to the hospital 2 or 3 times a day. It's about a 15 to 20 minute drive, depending on traffic. I try to go when the traffic is light. Like when I finish this video, I'm gonna get dressed to get out of here. Because if I go before 9 o'clock, it's 9:26 now. I'm running a little bit late for my day. But if I go before 9, the traffic's horrible. If I go after 9, the traffic should be light. I can get in the hospital. Then I run into a problem at the hospital trying to find parking because the parking lot can be a little filled. However, this particular, today being Friday, it may not be so bad. So, and there really is no rush for me to get there today because I pretty much know what's going on with Earl. He's no longer on a feeding tube. They're going to remove the vent from him. He's breathing on his own. He's eating food now. I took him a sub sandwich last night that he requested, a veggie sub. He ate some of that. I think Earl's biggest problem is he's such a picky, finicky eater if he's going to get better, he's going to have to really pick up his eating. And he's always been a very picky, finicky eater. So, for years, black people have been denied medical treatment based on the color of our skin. In so many ways. The racism in this country, we see it in the judicial system, the educational system, the food, the grocery stores, and in our medical and treatment that we receive here. And for us to ignore this would be foolish. Our immune systems are not stronger than white people. Do not believe that bullshit. Do y'all know how many black people died from COVID? Do y'all remember? See, our memories are short. We don't remember stuff. But I remember. Do y'all know how many black folks died from COVID? Do y'all know how many black folks died from AIDS? Do you know how many black people died from cancer? Do y'all know how many black people died from colon cancer, prostate cancer, heart attacks? But our immune system is stronger than theirs. That statement is allowed to mistreat us, harm us, and deny us medical treatment. Our immune system ain't stronger than nobody's. We are all human beings. What is wrong with us? Robert F. Kennedy shouldn't be allowed to run any damn thing, not even a car wash here in America. That man ain't even qualified to wash cars, least alone run millions to be director of a government program with millions of employees. Have we lost our fucking minds? There's nothing positive about Robert F. Kennedy in any of the false fake mess that he puts out there. I have, over the years, you know what's so crazy? Over the years, I have met family members and friends, more friends than family members. But I do have family members who don't take certain medications that they probably should take because they think we don't need it, you know. And the news article I just showed you that Biden changed the law to strike down this law that was keeping black people from getting a kidney. Y'all can say, Biden ain't did nothing for black people. Trump ain't about to do shit for nobody, white or black. Shit, he don't give a fuck about nobody but himself and them rich motherfuckers sitting next to him. But listen, black people, our journey here in this country, we've always had to deal with it, and I just don't see it changing anytime soon. If you think white Americans care about your physical health and well-being, the vast majority of these crazy people who voted for Trump, who's putting these crazy people into these positions of power, this country is on a Trump train to hell. But black people have been denied so much over the years when it comes to medical care. There's this false belief that black people don't suffer from pain. It's so complicated for black people to get pain medication. In fact, somebody just sent me an article, and they have a new pain medicine that's out. Where's this article? There's a new pain medication. Black patients less likely to receive certain pain relief after surgery. Yeah, I just went through that. Black patients less likely to receive certain pain relief post-surgery, new research suggests. So we're getting less care after we've had surgery. Why would they deny us pain medication after we've had surgery? The researchers from Johns Hopkins University analyzed how 482 black adults and 2,460 white adults were treated after these surgeries. The analysis revealed that black patients were about 74% more likely than the white patients to receive opioid pills in their post-surgery recovery, and that being black was associated with 25% lower likelihood of receiving multimodal anesthesia, including 4 or more modes. The researchers found no difference in the use of 2 or 3 modes of anesthesia and analgesia only in 4 modes. Is that a direct on people's livelihood, direct effect? Well, nobody can be in pain. Pain is something, and I went through that after I had my surgery. I was just trying to get some pain pills and manage your pain. Pain pills should not be prescribed based upon the color of your skin. Vaccinations should not be given out based upon the color of your skin. Kidneys for transplant should not be given out based upon the color of your skin. We're being denied treatment. And it's costing us our lives. And that's the concerning part to this. And some of you, if you believe that your immune system, if you're a black person, believe your immune system is stronger than white people, you are insane. Don't believe that. Do not buy into that foolishness, because it is ignorance, and it will cost you your life. I've heard black people say, we don't need to get a flu shot. I said, you don't need to get a flu shot. That's why all you black folks die from the flu every year, because they won't go take care of their health. I've heard people say they won't take flu shots. They won't take HIV medications. They won't go get treated for cancer. Apple cider vinegar should only be used to clean your home and for preparation of food. There's no medical value in apple cider vinegar. You want to marinate some chicken? Good. You want to clean your house and give it a nice smell? I personally just prefer lavender scented vinegar for cleaning. And some people use apple cider vinegar for cleaning. I don't like the smell of apple cider vinegar. I prefer vinegar. When Rosie cleans the house, I have a big bottle of cleaning vinegar, lavender flavor. When she cleans, it smells so good in here. It's just wonderful. So if you're ever using vinegar, but she still uses a little bit of Fabuloso in the vinegar, just be careful because you don't want to use too much vinegar. You can damage your fluorine and other stuff like that. You just want to use a little bit diluted in the water, and then, it works extremely well. But I would say to anyone, our journey here, living in America, as we've had so many obstacles. It's frustrating. I look at Earl in this hospital, y'all. This could have been avoided. I begged Earl for years to stop this drinking. We had physical fights over him drinking. Drunk, acting a fool, just ridiculous. His mother supported this bullshit. You can drink. His mother was just, I try not to go into, but his mother, don't know what to say about that scenario. Any mother that would encourage her sons, what parent would encourage their children to drink liquor and do drugs? I see it often. I even see it in my own family. That's why you see this house, y'all. Y'all see this pretty house? Y'all see this pretty house? It's empty. I can't deal with them ignorant niggas. On a side note, I had a client come by here that I've known for a few years and to pick up some stuff. He got here late a night ago. Attractive guy, handsome, works out in the gym, great physique, does personal training. He came, he got his stuff, and then he was like, he asked me, he said, hey, do you mind if I park my van in your driveway tonight? I said, park your van in my driveway? I said, what do you mean? He was like, I'm living in my van right at this moment. And since I'm on this side of town, normally I go across town and stay at someone else's home. And do you mind if I sleep in my van outside? So I'm like, and I told him, I said, hey, you don't have to sleep in the van. I got empty bedrooms inside. You can take one of these rooms in the bathroom here if you want to use it. He said, no, I already showered at LA Fitness and I'm cleaning. He said, everything's in my van, so I don't feel like bringing anything out of my van. I'm just going to, park. If you don't mind, I'll park it in the driveway and I'll be out of here early in the morning. So I said, well, you sure you don't want to stay in one of these bedrooms in there? He was like, no, I don't. So I said, fine, you can stay out there. Who wants to sleep in a van? But anyway, he backed the van over to the little side driveway. I have 2 driveways here, so he parked in the lower driveway. And I looked out the window, and sure enough, I saw him put the little coverings up over the windows. He said he had a little heater. It wasn't that cold that night, but he said he had a little heater. He said he had a TV and his laptop and computer and stuff in there. And as I was sleeping, I get up and go look out the window. His van was there. So about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and went to look, and he was gone. I don't think I want to live in a van. I like living in my home. I've had some, and I bring that up because in his mind, as I was talking to him, man, this is just great living in my van. I get to travel. I get to go places. He's just making it seem like it's just this. And I see this up on YouTube. These people making it seem like it's so romantic to be living in your car in your van. I'm thinking, okay. But ultimately, he said he has some things he's trying to do, so he's saving a lot of money because he's not paying rent. He said his last apartment he had was paying $2,000 a month in rent, so he's not paying anything in rent now. He's just living in his van. Have utilities paid. I hope that van, in my mind, I hope he got fully insured because that's your home in that van. So I hope it's fully insured in case something happened. You better be very careful parking that van places. You don't want to get that van towed or booted because you live in it, and you better drive carefully. I am sure there are millions of people who live in vans and Winnebagos and RVs. I am positive. I just prefer living in a house. Myself personally, I like it. When I get off this video, I'm going to take a shower and use the toilet upstairs, and I'm going to drink my coffee. So I use the bathroom, cook some breakfast in this house, going about my day. Day is flying by. It's already 9:39. I've been working on this video, getting everything together since about 8 o'clock. Well, I pray and hope that that Robert F. Kennedy does not get in there. And that man has got to be one of the most ignorant individuals I've ever. And some of you all follow these crazy people right off a cliff. As Black Americans, we get the worst of the medical care. And for him to sit there and say that our vaccination schedule should be different, meaning that we should be last, is what he was saying, because we don't need it. Well, y'all, it is Friday. I said today I was going to try to do some videos, but I may come back and try to do some more videos. These videos have been kind of short this week, short and to the point. That's all I got to say. That now, ain't much to say. But we go to your doctor's appointments. Take your medicines, y'all. Get your vaccinations. Get your children vaccinated. I've been meaning to do a video about this. I have a friend that I've known for years and years and years. She lives here in Atlanta. I knew her in the early 90s. I was probably in my early 20s. I was in my early 20s, early 90s. But I knew her. And she was giving birth to children. And I really didn't think nothing about it, just any other person having children. And I didn't think anything about it. But recently I discovered that she had children, that she was living with HIV. She was living with HIV. She was having children. She was married, had a husband. I guess they both had HIV. I don't know the answer to that question. Do you know this woman was told to take certain medications so she would not pass HIV on to her children? And for whatever reasons, she chose not to do that. All her children were born with HIV, all of them. All her children. Now, one of her kids refuses to speak to her because of this. Because this could have been avoided. Those kids should not have to carry that burden. Their mama had ample opportunity to do the right thing. And the science was there. Take these medications. You won't pass this to your children. But she didn't do that. And all her children are living with the consequences of living with HIV. I mean, I believe they're all healthy. They're taking their medications. I see them, you know, I see one posting all the time on social media. And this individual was the one that told me, well, this is what's going on with me and my mother. This is what took place. And we were supposed to get together and do a video about it. But I've been so busy doing other stuff and everything. So I said, we were going to get together and do this video because he really wants to tell this story. And it's his story to tell. Yeah, but they don't communicate. He doesn't communicate with his mother because of this. I think that's just sad within itself. It's just a lot of sad issues here. This could have been avoided. Could have really have been avoided. What parent would bring their child into the world? What parent would be so irresponsible to not take medications that would help keep your children from you passing this virus to these kids? And all your children are born into this world carrying, all of them living with HIV. What is going on here? That's the type of foolishness that when we deny ourselves medication, when we deny ourselves vaccinations, we set ourselves up for failure. We set ourselves up to harm ourselves and our children and our family members, to have to carry the burden of the stuff that we could have resolved. This anti-science, anti-medication movement in the black community is not working for us. And Robert F. Kennedy is a fool. And the stuff that these people are planting in people's heads is insane. I've had several conversations with people who say they believe black people's immune system are stronger than white people. What is wrong with us? And so therefore they don't have to take medications and they don't have to go to doctor's appointments. This is foolishness. And this is dangerous. And it's costing people their lives. I hope I'm clear, because when I think about that, these individuals what we're going through with dealing with the medical system as black Americans is horrible. And this man is going to make it worse. Anyway, today is Friday, January 31st. The year is 2025. I'm out of here. Hope you all enjoy this beautiful day. I'm out and have a beautiful Friday. So it's 70 degrees today. We got some rain coming in later. I'm out. Bye.